on a Blademaster creeping route that I just barely pull off. I barely pull this off. So watch how this works here. And what does he do?
Work complete.
Sells that, gets a circlet, and hits right behind him, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Hello everyone, we are back for another Warcraft 3 analysis and expose, another look into the deep and dark mind of a W3 Champions Orc Grinder. Yes, that insipid place, that horrible, cryptid, uncertain, manic, insane place in which one chooses to play Orc in Warcraft 3. I mean, of all the races, right? Hellman's clearly sipping on some of that Orc rage potion, as I am. You know, when you choose Blademaster online, you're just choosing violence that day. I like to choose violence often by selling the Scroll of Town Portal and getting Circlet, as you see there. Little miss micro, but we're still on it. So this game is called Tough DM. I like to build this sort of Blademaster. Check it out. Ring of Protection, Circlet as well. So a little bit of creeping superiority because my opponents, they're just creeping that safe stuff. I don't like this. Orc players just creeping that safe stuff. Instead, your boy's out getting the middle of the map, double ring, Circlet. Can you imagine with pre-patch? But I digress. You know we have Backpack, right? Was Backpack doing its thing there? Yeah, so Backpack, if you didn't know, brought the salves over to my Orc here. So whereas my opponent is relatively safe, I, through a slower tech, because I have the shop and the Backpack and all that, and I think some other things I've discerned earlier in this build, like Circlet. Just look at the current power level between my opponent and me. You know, you can tell why this is going to be an early game. Because my Blademaster is strong and tanky. So much so that even as I play this game, and let's go into my kind of macro moves here. As I play this game, I know that I can afford any trade with his Blademaster on behalf of my Blade's superior items. Nice. So lose a grunt, but that's okay. I mean, is it okay? Not really. Shouldn't have been taking damage. Good on my opponent for just the one peon in the burrow, but nice. This is where we like to be when you get that advantage in the Orc versus Orc mirror, and you can really push it because salves are not insta-healing, right? They take some time. So I'm just literally, at this point, just being a bully. Yep. My grunt there is taking the brood of all the spears, which is a mistake in hindsight. This is a Blademaster off, and where are you TPing? Blademaster to death. Shaboom. So yeah, what do you do now when you're facing a level 3 Blademaster in your base? Yeah, actually just GG. Interesting situation there. My opponent was just too defensive actually, but it turned out being that defensive allowed me to, imagine this, I encounter my opponent when he's already at his base, so his TP is pretty weak, right? In that case, his TP seems pretty ineffective. So that was a good one. Let's talk about more superior Blademaster games, right? Check this out. So this is another game here. You can tell I mean business when I'm going altar first, right? No games, no butts, no coconuts. Just raw Orc Blademastering. So already off the back, my Blademaster's first. So my Blademaster's a little faster. What about barracks? And your barracks is faster. So we see slight differences between the builds. 4 peons on lumber. Maybe we change to flow so we can see some of the lumber status here. I'm at 170.30. You're at 125.80. So sometimes the differences between the builds, they're really interesting. You know, like I have a faster Voodoo Lounge, but will that come into play? Not sure, right? Why do I prioritize the faster Voodoo Lounge if I'm not going to use it there? So this is a little bit of, I suppose I am. I do utilize it by just getting the, look at that. So I just get the gauntlet and I let my grunt finish these turtles. Interesting, because the grunt can finish these turtles, and now I'm going for the circlet. So I'm choosing to harass and use my grunts to the creeping. Inspired by the way humans creep, right? So now this is great. I have all this superior blade tech. Just go for the mirror image, right? Oh no, I'm going for the turtle. Wanted to get both, but I probably could have gotten both if I was smarter with it. But yes, so we see again, when you're against this sort of mirror image Blademaster, yeah, you better believe I just like to go for the images. Good deny on my opponent, but you see I'm getting some experience. I just killed a turtle there. I don't mind this trait at all. My gloves, my gauntlets of strength make my HP regen better. Though this is a little annoying. I don't get the cancel. Look at my macro. I'm really trying. But, you know, the Blademaster that goes mirror image really does need to keep high health, because every time you get chopped, your mirror image becomes less effective. So, no sense in chasing the blade there. Good on my opponent, though, for getting boots of speed. I come in with the grunt, though, to cancel the salve. I know my opponent was still there and just getting some scouting in, but I just get the item creep, I believe. Oh, no, it's the spider crab that has the tome. My opponent was creeping as well, so we were both doing some solo unit creeping. Hope I don't lose a grunt here. Come on. And what tome do I get? I love tomes. Salve up the grunt. Tome of strength. So wow. Tough BM. He has so much health. My Blademaster has 27 strength compared to your puny 20 strength. Come on. 600 HP versus my Chad 775 HP. Complete with bonus HP regen. I mean, your ring of superiority helps, but not nearly enough. So we see, just like that last Orc Mirror, I seem to like coming into my opponent's base with a strong Blademaster, and this is a pretty decent timing I get. So what would you do? What would you prioritize? I decide to prioritize the Blademaster, get him before he gets a mirror image, and now, well, we're still focusing the images in this situation, because you either get the image and you get some experience easily, or, you know, you do damage on the Blademaster. So it looks like my grunts are about to, they need to be microed now, yeah. So when a grunt gets about this health, you need to start microing it away. At this point, I'm trying to get in some kills here. I like how my Blademaster is doing solo damage. This grunt needs to live. Yep, live grunt. I'm okay with that chopping around. So this is so far pretty good for me. Haven't lost a grunt, and yet I've killed a lot of his. Headhunters are tough in the blade versus blade, because, like, you know, you can't have them live that long. And is this the, yeah, that's the real blade, so I'm just trading. I still like my gauntlets here in Circlet. You can't run, you just have to keep trading, and yeah, make him use the potion. My grunt eventually dies here. Oh no! Grunt, move, grunt! My grunt does die. I tried to get the deny, but thankfully this grunt comes out just in time to chop and go after the headhunter. So now I got the grunts low, but I got my Blademaster really benefiting from this bonus XP. So who wants to bet that I have more experience than my opponent's Blademaster? Yes, I do. And that often is what the Orc Mirror comes down to. The boots of speed, I think, you know, not as effective as they could be. And this is really what you don't want to be doing, like, this sort of creeping slow. Because the Ogre Magi, that's the bulk of it. Still around. You don't have the DPS, and I'm around. Suppose it's a small map. The Headhunter here, I don't like for my opponent to choose the Headhunter, but I think this is maybe the time of the game where things start to turn. Things maybe start to turn because, nope, my Shadowhunter's here as well. So what do we focus on? Well, we want to get the Headhunter. We wish we got the Grunt, but no, we just decide to switch onto the Shadowhunter. My opponent's really trying to get that Grunt, so, I mean, not sure I would have hexed. Shadowhunter for Grunt trade, I think we all see how that goes. If that's the fake one, just kill it. Really love sniping the illusion E XP real quick. It really adds up. And I know that's the real one. So if I know me, I think I got level 2 critical strike. Yeah, I think that's level 2 critical strike. I just think it's important. Oh, do I? This item. Oh, I thought I almost nabbed the item, but no, I didn't. Do I get a kill? No, he TPs, so. good interaction for me. Just use the illusion to bait a hex, I suppose, but also just trying to get in some, get him to cancel his assaults there. Nice. Get some more image EXP. So look at the Shadow Hunter EXP just off of killing the images a lot. I have more units streaming into his base, so love to see it. Kodo Walker, if you can speed up a bit. Speed up a bit because I think we know how this game goes. We're chasing units, killing grunts. Oh, this is the, I remember this game now. This is the worst part of the game. Little too, I'm caught between a rock and a hard place now, right? Using my healing scroll just so I don't want to lose my grunt there, but it's not good that I got so caught up in this creep camp. Like, I was just trying to creep in front of his face because I didn't realize, but you know, I did eventually force myself to escape. Look at this. These creeps beat me up. This is, I'm like kind of behind now. It's crazy. I was like ahead, but now my opponent's made it to tier 2 and he's enlisted for free the creeps to beat up all of my units. So not good. I know I need to start creeping, so thank God. At this rate, my army should be big. I should probably try to go up to 49 food and attack. That'd be a great goal. Let's see what we're doing right now. I don't necessarily disagree with getting Tauren Chieftain first when you go Fortress. But like, I think you need Taurens in the Orc mirror if you're gonna go tier 3. So there should have been a Tauren Totem from my opponent. Instead of a Tauren Chieftain, I think a Tauren Totem would be better. Just one Tauren would be good. So I decided to creep here. My opponent decides to creep, and you know, technically it's the biggest, one of the biggest creeps on the map, so we should be happy. My Blademaster just stacked. I like it. Getting 2 circlets, the Cloak of Flames, and yeah, let's end with the tower. Might as well end with this tower pressure. Let's see how the fight goes though. Seeing my micro here, trying to get the Blademaster in a nice position. We have Cloak of Flames, so Blademaster able to do damage. The War Stomps are effective, but for every War Stomp I have a level 2 healing wave. It's level 2 healing wave versus level 1. I'm healing wave, and obviously my Blademaster is dealing damage to his Shadow Hunter, and his blade is doing damage to his grunt. So we saw that earlier in the fights. Just the prioritization of targets for my opponent wasn't there, and now I got fortified towers in the face. So we can fast forward this simply because the game's quite over. You know, this reminds me, speaking of opponents, we have an Orc theme going on, so we went 2 Blademaster games, and now let's see if we can focus on another type of Blademaster game. Now, spoiler alert, we lose to this player in the game afterwards. I meet up with this Orc player again afterwards, and we go a different build. We go Farseer Naga, and man, I think Grubby may be onto something about that whole Naga Second curse. Is that hero good? I hear Naga Second's good, but maybe it's just a Night Elf thing. Anyways, sell the TP, get all my goodies, get the circlet. We're headed in our strongest form because what are we doing? We're preying on orcs that go that Tyler 1 build. We're preying on mirror image orcs. So if we can get there fast enough, if we get the right build, what do we get? Do we get a steal? Almost. So we just decided to go hit for the Blademaster, and we can't get the steal there yet. So we get the steal. That's 48 experience. Nice. And yeah, we're deciding to farm your blade illusion, but you don't give us that. So we're slowing down his creeping every time we do that though, because my opponent doesn't have salve. I do, and I also have circlet, so I don't mind this one bit. So much so I'm even deciding to really go for it, really go for the mirror image camp and get that experience. So 25 experience, it's worth it for me. And now I decided to Windwalk and threaten the Ogre Warrior here. So in tough position for my opponent. I will wait here forever, so you're just taking damage on your grunt for no reason while I'm healing. Oh, right from under his nose, just decided to get it quick. I even got the item there, which was pretty great, the Claws of Attack. Decided to waste his salve there just because I wanted to do it, deal some damage to him. And I guess I decide to, you know what, I have claws. I have circlet. Does he get boots? My opponent gets boots, and this is an interesting situation. I cannot run because my opponents have boots. I have to trade, so I man up here. I decide to man up big time because of my items. The mirror image. Response. The speed scroll. Nice. Healing. So this is a close game. And we're both... But I decide to get that illusion. Glad I got the kill there. It's real samurai stuff. I know I can get the kill here because I have blades of attack. Oh my gosh. Careful micro there. So, you know, we got a little blade superiority. So what do? Go all in on the blade. Boots of speed. Double circlet. Why not? So the headhunter here can tank a bit while my blade goes to town. Didn't micro it the best, but headhunter, you did your duty. We now have slippers of agility, so come on. I mean, if we're talking early game, this Blademaster is strong, right? He's feeling great. 30 agility versus my opponent's puny level 2. Mantle of intelligence? Bro. So what are we doing? This looks interesting by me. I'm really trying to push the advantage with 3 headhunters. High DPS army.
Our town is under attack.
Yeah.
Work complete.
Oh, but I see the Shadow Hunter. Not good. Because I don't have a second hero and he does. I need a hero, so what do I get? I think it's time for a Beware I Live. If I ever saw one. It's time for Beware I Live. Yep, there you go. He lives and you all better beware. In hindsight, losing all my headhunters there. Not my favorite, but we are doing damage to his heroes. Oh no, don't die here, Firelord. Come on. Blademaster, do damage. Oh no. Soul burn? Great. Soul burn. This is a really intense micro game, though we need to kill that illusion for good measure. Yep, kill that illusion, get that experience farming. Now my Blademaster is just undaunted. So whereas my headhunters are getting farmed, come on, can I try to survive it there? No. My Blademaster is chasing things. We go for ensnare, do some damage, nice. Break the salve, we're just doing damage, get the kill, get the kill. Okay, use your healing potion, that's great. My opponent's just wasting mana on really what? You're trying to keep alive the Shadow Hunter? Yes, it is. But now, what do we switch? I'm so aggressive here. Okay, so what do? We need to get back in action our macro. Firelord's still sitting at base. I finally now have the presence of mind to buy a healing clarity. I'm deciding I need to do something while I'm here with my strong blade. So yeah, let's just solo creep a tome. We get the Tome of Knowledge this time. So we're really like farming this Blademaster, even with the Tome of Knowledge pickup. It's good to see. Firelord probably needing to start creeping too. Strong. 31 agility, 92 crits. Firelord coming with the heals. Now what am I doing? And my opponent has the unit advantage because I lost my headhunters and they were making grunts the whole time. So I switched to Grunt Raider. And now that my little army is united here, I'm currently getting out-crept by my opponent. I mean, a little too scared here. My opponent's way too scared. And is for some reason getting trolled by the macro here. So interesting. My opponent manages to make sure that the troll is both inner-fired and bloodlusted before he starts the creep. He's like, just want to make sure I do this pool correctly. I want the creeps to have as much armor, as much DPS as possible. So, oops. Probably not ideal. But what am I doing, right? I'm just deciding, let's put off the Fog of War. Let's see from Old Head Vision. I'm getting a nice little creep here. Love this tech, right? Every time you got raiders and you see this creep here, just do this. This is effective. This is effective creeping, you know? My opponent's running around trying to start the gnolls, and I've already got that brilliance aura. So thanks to my Smolderus. Yo, my Smolderus on that pipe, smoking that gas, that's real smoldery stuff. Giving mana to everyone. Tome of Intelligence too, he really is the smartest Firelord I've had in a while. But let's see how this game will go. Level 2-2, not the most common power spike you're used to seeing. But my opponent really likes these pulls. My opponent is pulling very conservatively, and it's not working out. This one worked out, though, because the speed scroll gets you back to base. So I remember this game feeling good when I was getting these attacks in, right? Just some damage in. And here it is, my opponent's army. So let's do this in slow-mo. We get the Spirit Link on the Fire Lord. So Fire Lord's protected. So is the Raider, so is the Kodo. We don't get a Spirit Link on the thing getting hit, though. So one little miss micro. We do get it out of control, but now the Fire Lord is not DPSing, but it doesn't quite matter. The Shadow Hunter just melted, so I have a DPS advantage here that seems to be Fire Lord related now that my opponent's Shadow Lord's dead, and yeah, Shadow Hunter's dead. Now once you get the soul burn on the enemy Blademaster, now I think my Blademaster was sitting there stealth for a while, but I need to devour on a Kodo as well. Definitely see I'm getting my micro here pushed to the limit, but my heroes persevere, right? Like these grunts, these raiders, even though my opponent's army is seemingly better, my hero is just really negating the DPS of their blade. So a soul burn there gets the silence, not doing much damage at all, so I'm not even worried. Yeah, your Blademaster all of a sudden has a lot to worry about. A little too slow on the invulnerability. You need to invuln the moment you get soul burn, by the way. Nice raider. Micro there. Oh, can I survive it? No, he still gets the kill, but I do get a devour on the Kodo. So at this point, the battle is turned into my favor now. A salve would be great, and look, I called it out. So salve on the Fire Lord's great, and yeah, this is feeling good now. You know, we're getting my macro up. We're deciding to focus these low HP grunts, and good idea going for my Fire Lord. You need to break the salve, but at this point, your Shadow Hunter is no mana. And your Shadow Hunter is soul burn. Look how little damage it does. 3 damage. The soul burn. Oh my god. Survive. So little. Okay, jeez. So the Fire Lord lives, and this really is a micro battle. Mirror image back, but do I have disenchant? I should, right there. I have a walker. I have a disenchant. It would be nice. Not quite using it yet, though. I'm getting destroyed here, but okay, good. I finally get the disenchant, which allows me to see which is the right Blademaster. Get some DPS, and at this point, my Blademaster is too strong. My opponent has not managed to ever really threaten my blade, and when blade has Windwalk and like good items, it's really tough. The moment you get any focus fire, you just Windwalk to the other end of the battle, and yep, here we go. Decide to get some shop superiority. Have the shop behind my back. Khadgar's pipe's really nice. Things should be spirit linked if they're not already, but the soul burn on the Shadow Hunter, it's gotta be GG at this point. Yeah, nice. Get some scrolls. Really just putting a capital. Yeah, so I like Blademaster Fire Lord. Why not? GG's. You know, this has been a nice Blademaster themed video, so to speak, and I think we're going to end with a cool game that focuses on a Blademaster creeping route that I just barely pull off. I barely pull this off. So watch how this works. First things first, you have to miss micro your peon. Very important. No, I'm ready to work. So we see our Night Elf opponent just doing Night Elf things, obviously. Ready to work. I love the sprawling nature of a Night Elf based build. Very lore friendly. We are going Altar of Storms double burrow into this threat here. Look what happens once the Blademaster runs his little heart's desire. He runs here, and what does he do? Sells that, gets a circlet, and hits right behind him, and da-da-da-da-da-da. This is, so now the bear is not hitting me, right? Wonderful. So there are some scholars that say you should Windwalk. Maybe now. To confirm it, like maybe earlier in the process Windwalk, because this is cutting it pretty close here, Rod. Windwalk now. Woo! right? 19 health.
Research complete.
But I did get the potion of greater healing. So in terms of creeping, right, just a fun little creep route. My opponent crept the small camp, and I get to creep this and have my grunt tank. So, you know, you need to get the grunt if you're going to do a build like that, and it is nice to get the consumable. We have backpack. Love me some backpack. Helping my tempo, as always, staying on the map. Now we have salve. So, pretty strong early game that was like self-determined. This is a self-determined strong early game, right? Whether my Night Elf opponent does anything special, or because sometimes Night Elf opponents do that. They have their own self-determined strong early opening. So on this map with Blademaster, you can do that yourself. Now I do get the read on that, so I don't start the camp. And I have Crystal Ball, so why not? Good situation here. I'm trying to kind of jockey for position. I have Windwalk, jockey for position, damage on the Demon Hunters. I actually think pretty good setting up for this fight, as in you just want to deal damage to the Demon Hunter here. Why not? Crystal Ball, Crystal Ball, Crystal Ball. Where's my Crystal Ball? Nice, so we Crystal Ball here. Useful, and we get the TP, so... Could have been faster on the Crystal Ball. Like, what could I have done? I could have just could have been faster, maybe got the kill. But Crystal Ball was a nice pickup. Allows me to just continue creeping on the map. This salve, still, I'm helping out. The backpack salve. Now, let's see. This is a good little backpack scenario because I give myself time. As the unit walks in here, I can get the backpack. But let's see if I do it here.
My life for the Horde.
No. So backpack fail. In hindsight. Oh, no. Here. I just decided to pick up a backpack item here. Yes, so I pick up a salve here. You can see myself improving as a backpack player, you know. Just trying to make it so my blade isn't here. I want my blade to be on the map attacking things. My blade shouldn't be back at base. My unit should be. You know, because every time my opponent has to go back to base to heal, well, backpack gives me the edge. So what if that edge means level 3 before them? So look at this. Ah, the best part. While my opponent is yadi dying. Wait, where's the Ogre Mage? Where's your item? Well, the blade already crept it. The blade already crept it. So now when I'm attacking your base, the timing's actually quite delightful. Look at this. This timing. Pillage. The moment pillage is about to finish, stop attacking buildings. Classic work. Oh, pillage. No need to attack buildings anymore, guys. That's how pillage works, right? Hilarious. So now we again go for the Demon Hunter, and now our Demon Hunter focus is a little more, I suppose, valid, because Huntresses versus Grunts, not the matchup you want. We have the most powerful Grunts you can at this stage, as in we have 1 attack upgrade and brute strength. So this is it. This is the strong little blade timing with Grunts, and it helps because you have this big consumable. If this was a mana potion, it would still be nice. Getting some damage in. This is crazy. Look at this. I'm just pushing it to the limit, but I have the greater healing potion, so why not? I mean, are you going to heal too? Does he have? Okay, he tries to get... Okay, Moon. No. Where is his healing potion? Nope, chopped. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. And okay, and my Shadow Hunter comes. It's funny, my opponent was still in the lead there, but now once the Shadow Hunter comes with the healing support, yeah, you finally get the sustain you need to kill that army. So, you know, just continued aggression.